Hello and welcome to the testing video of Alex Hill's 2023 Computer Science NEA. I'm going to run through some tests on the web interface of the robot, including creating routines, creating accounts, exploring routines, and other objectives that I stated in my report. Firstly, I'm going to go to the sign up page, either through the button in the middle or the button on the nav bar in the top right. Here there is a form for the user to submit, which takes email, username, password, confirm password. The email field is validated to check whether the user has entered a valid email. The username field is validated to check whether the username is unique and is not already in the database. The password field is validated for strength. Let's create a user. All of these details are currently correct. However, if I edit the email field to an invalid email, it will state invalid email. Also, it states that the username looks okay. If I correct the email and now enter a username of a user that is already in the database, it will tell me that the username is already in use. And also, when the passwords got reset and they were empty, it stated that the password must be at least 6 characters. Let's see what happens if I don't enter anything at all. It states that the username is required. Now let's enter a password that doesn't match. As you can see, it states that the passwords do not match. Now, let's enter some valid data. On submit, as you can see in the top right, the user is now logged in with their username displayed. The first thing I'm going to do is go to the profile page. You can access this through the nav bar, the drop-down menu in the top right, and then profile. On the profile page, you can see their profile picture, their username, their bio, the time they were last seen on the website, the amount of followers they have, the amount of users they're following, and the amount of posts that they have. Also, the posts come up on the right-hand side, which I'll show you later on. To edit your profile, simply press the Edit Profile button, which will open the Edit Profile page. Now, you can change your profile picture. On Confirm, you'll see that the profile picture has now been changed. Also, you can change your username. These fields are also validated so that you cannot enter an invalid username. You can change your email and your bio. You can do multiple changes at once as well. Also, the color of the banner at the top can be customized for each user using this color picker here. If I wanted to change it to blue, I'll change it, confirm, and that has now been updated. This just adds another level of customization. Now, to create a routine, you'd go to the Create page. This brings up the building block editor on the left-hand side, with categories for blocks, including robot function, logic, loops, maths, and so on. Then, there is an undo and a redo button to undo and redo your changes in the building block editor. Then the Python code output module on the right-hand side will display the translated Python code from the building block routine. We'll come to the rest of the buttons later on. For now, I will make a routine that does some press-ups on the robot. To start, I want to do 3 press-ups, so I'll use a loop that counts from 1 to 3. Updating the letter I to each time. Then, I will make the robot stand to a height of 80% and pitch up a bit. For balance, I'll also make it come forward a bit as well. Then, I'll make the robot go down to a height of 30%, and they can go back to a normal pitch. Then also, I will use the robot function that makes the robot speak. This will make them say the number of push-ups that they're on using the count variable I from the for loop. As you can see, all of this code is translated instantly on the right-hand side. Now, the run button in the bottom right will run the routine on the robot. Also, when a user is running a routine, the robot status in the top right updates to say that the user is running the routine. This stops any other users from running a routine at the same time, and lets them know why. Let's see what happens.
1, 2, 3.
Exactly the results that we expected happened. Now, if I wanted to save this routine and come back and edit it later, I would do so using a draft. If I want to save this routine as a new draft, I would press Save as New Draft and enter a routine name. So let's say push-up. Then when I press Save, I refresh the page. I'll lose all my progress. However, you can load the routine from your drafts. This is done using the Load Routine from Drafts button here. There's a drop-down menu containing all of the drafts that you currently have. When you select it, you can delete the draft or load it. Let's load it back up. As you can see, the same draft how we left it is now back in our routine editor. Now, if I want to post it, I would use Post Routine. Here, we set a name and description. When I hit Post, it will redirect us to the Post page. When you're viewing a post, it has the routine on the left-hand side, some information about the post on the right-hand side. As you can see, it has the profile picture, the name of the user, and when they posted it. If I click this, it will take me to the profile of the user who posted it. As you can see now, the post is on the right-hand side like I said earlier. Let's go back and see what else this has. You can copy and edit the routine. If I press this, it will load up the create page with the routine in the routine editor already. This allows for collaboration between students, as they can go and look at what routines others have made and make small changes to them to how they'd like it. Now let's look at the Explore page. The Explore page is a place where students can view other students' routines. As you can see, there are quite a lot of routines that me and my friends have been making on this robot. Firstly, you can search by title, description, and user using the search bar here. If I wanted to search for routines that were made by Alex, I could type in Alex and press search. As you can see, this only returns routines made by Alex. If I clear the search, I can see all of the posts again. Now, if I search by name, let's try push, it will only return this routine that we've just made called push-ups. Furthermore, there are filters in the top right, which we can use to sort the routines, check if the routines use a specific function, such as walk or turn, and others, such as only posts that we like or only posts by users that we follow. Let's try sorting by the amount of likes. When I press this, you can see the post that has 2 likes has come first, then posts with 1 like, and then posts with 0 likes. Then we can also filter with the user function. Let's try stand. When we press this, it only returns routines which use the stand function in the routine code. Let's go back to sorting by time posted and try liking a post. Let's like the post that we just made. As you can see, when you press it, it changes to a red color to show that you've liked it, and it displays 1 like. Now, if we filter on liked posts, this will be the only one that is displayed because it's the only one that this user has liked. As you can see, you can also filter on users that you follow. Let's go to Alex's profile and follow him. If I press this, it shows Alex's profile. They have 2 followers, they're following 2 people, and they have 4 posts. Here are the 4 posts. If I press follow, it changes to unfollow, and they gain a follower here. If we go back and filter for only users that you follow, it will display Alex's post, because that is the user that you followed. If you follow multiple users, it will filter for the multiple users that you follow. Now, if I wanted to delete one of my routines, I would just press the trash can in the top right corner. One time, it will turn to red so that you can confirm that you want to delete it. When you press it again, and it's deleted. If we refresh the page, it's still not there, and it's been deleted from the database. Let's look at some other features of the robot. Let's write a routine where the robot stands to a height of 80%. It turns in the UR axis to the left by 30 degrees. And then let's have the eyes use the chase effect 3 times with a random color each time. As you can see, it did exactly what we wanted to do. How about every time it flashes the eyes, it makes a noise? Let's make it bark. The onboard speaker allows this to happen. Also, there is the sit feature. This makes the robot sit down and wave. Let's try it. These kinds of fun features allow for students to stay engaged and have fun with the lesson. Now, let's try walking. I'm going to tell the robot to walk forward 3 steps and give it some space. As you can see, it walked forward. If we create a routine where the robot stands up to a height of 80% and then stands up to a height of 30%, and let's make it do that twice. Let's try stopping it halfway through. As you can see, I pressed stop and the robot was interrupted before it had finished its routine. The fields on the building block editor are also validated so that you cannot input invalid data. For instance, this percentage cannot be above 100 or below 0, and it also cannot be a decimal. The amount of degrees has a maximum of 30, meaning, and a minimum of 0. For fields which need a specific type of input, for instance the say, this will only take a text object or a number. It would not take a color, for instance. As you'll see, it does not click together, whereas the text one does. Now let's try another routine that someone else has created. This routine says the robot walks forward 4 steps, stands up and flashes the eyes. Let's see. Another point to note is that during the routine, the line that the routine is currently running is highlighted in yellow on the right hand side. This allows students to keep track of their routine. Great. On this page, I can also like the post.